to remember. We must remember.
You're not supposed to move, not for anything. But that thing wasn't human. October 31st, midnight. The sky above Arlington was starless, a heavy black dome pressing down on sacred ground. Beneath it stood Private First Class Evan Burke, barely 22, his body rigid, movements precise. He was a tomb guard, one of the few entrusted to protect the tomb of the unknown soldier. For Evan, this wasn't just duty, it was devotion. Every step, every breath, every ounce of his being was trained to honor those whose names had been swallowed by war. But Halloween night felt wrong. The air was dense, not cold, but unnaturally still. Even the flag above the tomb refused to move. Evan had volunteered for the night shift. "Let the others rest," he'd said, quiet and steady as always. 6 months on the line, not a single flaw in his performance. Discipline lived in his bones. Until that night. He had just taken his 21st step, rifle perfectly aligned against his shoulder, when it happened. Knock, knock, knock. 3 sharp, hollow taps. Not from the gates, not from the path, from behind the tomb. His heart skipped. No one was allowed behind it. Not without clearance, not without being seen. He didn't flinch, just paused. Let the echo fade, then resumed his march, precision over panic. Step, step, step. Then the whisper came, directly behind his ear. "Where's my name?" Evan turned, a violation of protocol. His rifle raised instantly, but there was nothing, just the gleam of marble and the chill of the unknown. Silence returned, but so did the sound. Low footsteps now from the far end of the plaza. A shape materialized at the edge of the darkness, just past the glow of the security lights. A man. No movement. No sound. "You are in a restricted area. Identify yourself," Evan barked, his voice steady, his fingers curled tight around the rifle grip. No response, just flicker. The figure glitched, like broken video, here, gone, then back again, closer. Then the floodlight exploded with a sharp snap. Darkness swallowed the grounds, and yet the tomb itself now glowed, a cold blue hue radiating from the stone. And the man, he was standing beside it now. Evan's breath caught in his throat, a World War I uniform torn and stained with decades of mud and blood. Hollow eyes, pale skin, and tears, real tears, streaming down his cheeks. "I gave everything," the man said, his voice thick with agony, "and they forgot my name." Evan didn't move. A name, a face, a soldier, a ghost. His thoughts snapped back to a folded flag. The night the military told his family his older brother Liam's body would never be recovered. No grave, no closure, just an empty casket and the words, "known only to God." That pain, that silence, that loss. It all rushed back. Now one of them stood before him, asking to be seen. The ghost lifted a shaking hand, pointing at the tomb. Evan followed his gaze and saw it. Etched, across the marble in ghostly blue light, names, dozens, hundreds, flickering, vanishing. "We were promised remembrance," the ghost whispered. "But time buries more than just bodies." Evan felt his rifle slip from his hands. It hit the ground with a muted thud. He stepped forward, his voice barely a whisper. "I see you." The ghost smiled, a slow, sorrowful smile. Then, like mist, he faded, dissolved into the rain. The lights returned, the wind picked up. Evan stood in silence, then bent down, lifted his rifle and resumed his march. Step, step, step. From that night on, Evan never spoke of what he saw. But something changed. He began requesting night duty. Every night. He started researching missing soldiers, writing their names in a small black notebook tucked under his uniform. A journal of the forgotten. When a fellow guard asked why he touched the tomb before every shift, Evan simply said, "They stood for us. I stand for them." And every Halloween night after, he placed a single white rose behind the tomb of the unknown soldier. No one asked who it was for, but sometimes, in the quiet dark before dawn, guards say they still hear it, just 3 soft knocks on the stone, and a whisper, "Thank you." Sometimes the bravest thing a soldier can do isn't pulling a trigger, it's remembering the forgotten. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.